How's it going? It's Chris, your spiritual mentor, and today I want to talk to you about what living from your heart actually means. Because so many people talk about living from your heart chakra, heart-based energy, all this kind of stuff. But what does it actually mean to live from your heart? Because simply feeling a feeling of love in your chest does not necessarily mean you're living from your heart. And also, feeling a lot of pain doesn't necessarily mean you're not living from your heart. So let's get into it. Living from your heart is a whole way of life. It's not just about your energetic state, but it's about how you experience reality. If you live from your mind, then your mind is kind of like your baseline. And for most people, the mind is their baseline. So what happens is things occur, then we feed that information back to the mind processes it, we come to a decision about who we are and what we want to do and how we want to act, and then that comes out in our behavior. So the mind becomes this central point that controls everything. So everything references the mind, everything references that center, and then it goes back out. But what is the mind? The mind is the past. So you're essentially referencing the past in order to act, which means you're going to reproduce the past over and over again. Your future becomes the past, and it becomes this infinite loop cycle because you're creating from that same place that you created everything that is currently in your life. Does that make sense? The difference is when you live from your heart, you don't base everything off of what you think and what you knew in the past and your past experiences and your understandings of life. You actually let things land in your heart and in the body, and you let answers come through you, and you make decisions based on what's going to generate more openness and generate more love in your life, which allows you to move into new paradigms and new frequencies that you otherwise were not able to access when you were simply stuck in recreating your past over and over again. So living from your heart also allows you to be brand new every day and every moment. If living from your heart is so amazing, then why do so many people live from their minds? Well, the thing is, when you live from your mind, you essentially have another layer of protection that protects your heart space and protects your deeper emotions and energies because you're referencing everything through this intermediary device almost. It's almost like a piece of technology that you're bouncing information through so that that energy doesn't affect who you are or who you feel like you are as a person. So it essentially is this layer of protection that allows us to navigate the world without having to be so vulnerable. But the problem is our vulnerability is our strength. So when we block off, we also block off our power, we block off our connection to others, we block off our ability to channel information into our life, we block off our ability to receive, and our life usually starts to go downhill. Even the process of letting go of the mind and that whole protection system and learning how to live vulnerably in the heart is very scary. It's kind of like as a kid, when you go to a new school and you don't have any friends there, it feels like dying to have to go enter that environment with no idea how you're going to navigate it. But that's actually the place that you need to be. Because if you don't know how to navigate it, you're going to actually generate something new. If you know how to navigate it, you're going to generate something that you've already created before. So if you don't know what you're doing, that's a great place to create something brand new and create something that's completely fresh. So the journey of opening up and becoming a person that lives from their heart instead of someone who lives from the protection of their mind is kind of like a caterpillar breaking out of the chrysalis and becoming a butterfly. It's this journey of breaking through your old barriers and putting yourself in very vulnerable moments and situations that allow you to grow and expand in a new way, in a way that you maybe haven't expanded or grown before. And that's why you have to navigate it through the unknown. It's because your mind does not have a map for this territory. You're not going to be able to reference the past and find a way through what comes up as you open your heart. You're going to have to let your heart lead through the heart. You can't let the mind lead through the heart space. Let the heart lead you through the heart space. And you got to listen very deeply to what's coming up when you do tune into the heart, and try to live more in accordance and alignment with your heart space. A lot of people think if they open their heart and they become very vulnerable, then they're just going to stay in a very weakened, depolarized state, and they won't be able to accomplish what they need to accomplish, and they won't be able to present themselves how they want to present themselves. And that can be true temporarily, because you might go through a restructuring and a rebuilding process after you start to open your heart. But in the long term, you're actually going to become more proficient. You're going to become more present. You're going to become more creative. You're going to become more confident in who you are. You're going to be more loving. And in all areas, your life is going to improve from living from your heart. If you want more assistance on living from your heart and opening up into the vast amount of emotions and beliefs that you maybe have stored there throughout your entire life, and you want to start working through all this stuff so you can get to a really clear, sharp, present state, then reach out to me. I have some spots open in my one-on-one coaching, and it would be awesome to get to know you and work with you in that container. So reach out to me if that resonates with you. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.